Ahoy, hoy!
Ahoy, hoy, everyone.
Happy Sunday, everyone.
Here, I'll come over
There
here
you
like
go.
we're pals.
I know, like we know each
Okay.
other. How's it going, everybody? Happy Sunday. Hope you are having a good one today.
We are.
We are.
We've been up for hours. There's been Lego building. There's been video games.
There's been family Zoom calls.
That was awesome. Oh, look, these
Today
are
has it all.
untangled already.
Oh, I know. I got it all set up.
Well, why don't we just dive right
that?
in and say hi to everyone in the chat?
Yeah, let's see who's. I'm gonna take off my glasses here so I can actually see. And here
Yeah, we're
we
working
go.
on that, right? I think you're going to get fancy new glasses.
I know, no one's going to recognize me. First,
I
I'm
know.
going from these glasses to no glasses to new glasses.
It's going to be Sally Jesse Raphael.
Yeah,
here.
they're going to be giant red
Charles
glasses.
Nelson Riley.
All right, so hey, Aquamike TV, Ben Dury, Brick Maverick. Hey, welcome. It's new name. Everybody give Brick Maverick a big tricky lug ahoy hoy in the chat there. Chris and
Brickanista
Jaden
is
Chalice
here.
from Merry Old England. Oh yeah, Brickanista, Brickaroo Bonsai.
Chris and Jaden Chalice from Merry Old England.
Yeah,
you just
twice.
went through that
Yeah.
so quickly. I thought you hadn't gotten through.
Coronado, see you later. Dave Morgan. Hey, Dave, welcome. It was great to see you on Boone's show the other day. That was pretty cool. Let's see. Debo Bricks, Fabufan MKE, Fallen Tree 23, Holly is
Holly's here.
Hooded One, John Luttrell, Johnny Cat,
Hi, Johnny.
Lucid Builder, another new name. Hi, welcome. How's it going?
It's a cool name.
Marilyn Parmley's here. Hi, Marilyn. We're thinking of Steve today.
Yep, and always nice to see you here.
Matthew Builds Bricks, Minifig Chicken Moto, right next to each other today.
Whoa, no one in the alphabet between them. That's our mini game.
I know. Mr. Elmo Man, P.T. McEwen, Patrick Wismer, Remy Baker, Rob Ketcherside, Jake Sadovich. Hey, Jake, how's it going? Shane Levan, Synthetic Mason, The Hornburgers, The Jammy Bricker, The Supreme Lego Empire, Timothy Durham, Wilfred, bonsoir, Zach Highmark, and Zach Martinez. Oh,
the two Zachs.
The two Zachs. That was a long list today.
It's
Very
true.
good.
Well, this is a very interesting topic we're going to talk about today.
Topic.
And we're going to get everyone in a lot of trouble, I think.
And,
right?
Yeah, exactly. We're going to break the market.
I know.
Well,
so have your piggy banks ready.
I did want to say, too, I'm starting to see on Instagram and stuff that people are getting their...
Fat Max.
People are getting their their packages, their Tricky Lug packages.
Yeah.
So I hope that that everybody has been getting them. I've been seeing that,
And
and
don't
don't forget
those, and that they're got fun inside.
And if you haven't gotten yours yet, don't worry. Yours is coming. We're doing another mailing this week.
Yep.
Thankfully, not as big as the last one.
No,
bit smaller.
The post office will be happier.
Yeah, they'll be happy.
But we just have more addresses together now, right?
Yes. Yeah, there was some more things to do. So
it's a well-oiled machine around here. Cedar Pants Productions.
Yeah.
But how fun, right? How fun to get stuff in the mail. I like that.
I know. Packages in the mail are super fun. And I don't know, I love, I was super excited about our little return address labels.
I know. We got colorful, right? We had the choice.
All right, so shall we do some Disney pins?
Well, should we wait? I mean, I don't know if anyone else would have a pin they'd want to share.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. So actually,
why don't we
go
welcome
ahead?
Our guests, whether they have pins or not.
Yes. Whether we have pins or not. Let me see. Here we go. All right, so we've got
to see from our cast of regular characters who we're so grateful for and how fun we get to hang out with them.
Yeah. Hey, Jake Tadvik, welcome. Welcome, another new name. Very good to see. Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and...
Ding dong.
I'm going to do this first.
Oh, look at that. That'll be nice.
Won't that be nice?
That'll save the chat a lot of typing.
All right, here we go, everybody. Please welcome to the show today, Moto and Holly.
Yay!
They're going to be giving us lots of good info today.
Oh, look, Holly has a pin right there.
Oh, yes.
I figured.
I was ready.
How's everybody doing today?
Does anybody see what that is?
It is a snowflake full of Yodas.
It is.
Full of Yoda.
That was
Yoda Flake.
That was the that was the one that was in my package. I love it.
Awesome. Thought you might get a kick out of that one.
I got my package, but I want to film the unboxing. So
Oh,
Yes.
fun, cool.
there's probably stuff in there I could have shown, but
That's all right.
I didn't have the time. I've been building Fab Max for the last 2 days.
We spent yesterday building as well. And of course, what I've come to expect now, a beautiful shirt, Moto.
Wow.
Yes, this is not Black Panther, but it's as close as I can approximate for
Aw.
the passing of Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah,
Yes,
very
that
good.
was a
Yeah.
really, really sad. That was some
Yeah.
really sad news this weekend. Golly, yeah, really, really. Yes. Oh my
Bless you,
goodness.
Flynn.
Thank you. Sorry.
Life, right?
Get back.
Well, no, you sneezed into your sleeve, which is completely great
Yeah,
way
good
to
job.
demonstrate the proper form and technique.
Right? Check that
Well,
out.
I did, I taught kids for a long time in real life
With the
before now, and
vampire
yeah, you had to
sneeze?
teach them the vampire sneeze and all the good stuff. So,
Well,
oh my goodness! All right, so
I
you
have
got-
an otter today, and I don't know. I
Ooh.
should know who this is from. He's so cute.
He is cute.
That
Oh,
That's utterly cute.
It is
Right?
utterly adorable.
He's otter than most.
Yes, and then
They're so cute. I've seen them on kayaking trips in Alaska. We saw river otters playing. Well, they were probably hunting, but it looked like playing.
yeah. We'll go with playing.
And then we got oops. I've
Teacup.
got
Teacup.
another
yeah,
in
I'm
a
continuing in
series.
my teacup series. I
Oh,
had the
here, I'll
green
get
one
my face
yesterday.
out of there, and maybe it'll.
It's all right. It's a teacup, but it's decorated, which I love. So they're all nice and different. Oh, the otter is from Finding Dory.
Oh,
There you go.
Okay.
I like that. We got to hang out with Flynn's cousin along with many other members of his family today, and she reminds me so much of Ellen in the way she talks, and that of course makes me
She
think
is
of
very,
Finding Dory.
very Finding Dory-esque.
But
Huh.
so welcome. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so excited to hear what you have to talk about as well.
I know, because then I don't have to tell people, because I'm really bad at explaining things on a computer. Like, really bad at it. Like, I'm good at teaching stuff, but teaching stuff like on a computer, I'm the worst. So I'm so glad that y'all are doing it. And I don't claim to know everything there is to know about Bricklink. Certainly not.
Who does? I don't
I
think
don't
anybody
think
does.
anybody does.
No,
Yeah.
but we'll all know a little more after today.
Absolutely. So
And I'm going on Bricklink as soon as the stream is done, too.
I might place an actual order if you guys want me to.
Because
yeah.
I'm checking.
Yeah, 2 days into a mock, it's like it's time to get all those pieces that I don't have in my own collection that I need for the build.
Yeah, I mean, anytime there's an excuse to place an order on Bricklink, right?
Right. Well,
Or-
and so you know what we have found that we've needed with Fab Max is building bricks, like just regular old 2x4, 2x6, and 2x2 building bricks in basic colors. We really don't have that many.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, oh, I can get
Flynn?
one of those brick boxes, but those actually don't come with a ton of bricks in one color.
Yeah, let me know what you need. I have
Okay.
a 60-quart container, just basic brick.
Oh,
And I always
awesome.
just ship it because I hardly ever use it with my stuff.
Oh, all right.
Wow.
Oh, thanks, Johnny.
That's cool.
And thank you, Moto.
You know, it's funny, something
Play well.
something I learned on Lego Masters when we had to build fast and they had them is that 2x12s and 10s are awesome.
Yeah, they are. Oh,
They're so
man.
cool,
Wow.
and we have so few. We got a bunch in gray. Lego sent us a bunch in gray as packaging when they returned Flynn's mocks to him.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, there was a bunch.
Yeah, those can get really expensive because if you think about the price of a standard brick being, let's say, maybe 10, 12 cents or something, if you've got a 2x4, you can pretty much double it. So once you go to like try to get like a 2x8 piece, then all of a sudden it's like 20 something cents, and then it starts to get exponentially more expensive.
Yeah, it's
Adds
a
up.
exponential curve.
Yeah, for sure.
Over here's the 2x100 somewhere up in that ceiling.
What and
It's like
and
$1,000.
approaching infinity is monorail track.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Monorail track already is it's infinitely but bounded somehow. We don't know how.
Well, we are going to. So actually, tomorrow. So apparently, our when we did live mock building on the show the other day, people seemed to really enjoy it, which I'm still perplexed by, but I'm super glad that they
I'm so
did.
glad. It put us under pressure to keep moving too. You can get lost in 3 bricks sometimes,
like we did yesterday. So I actually went, and so tomorrow we're gonna start our mock Mondays, where we're gonna be building on Fab Max. Until the due date on Mondays, so you'll be able to check that out. Hey, Robert Frost.
When is this due? Because I'm basically rushing as fast as I can.
Well,
I need to know what day to start.
Yeah, let me see. So September 17th is the current due date. However, if we get the clearance to do that, we're going to be able to show the whole thing at BrickCon, and we're going to push it back a week to the 24th to give everybody extra time.
Yeah, I think I can make it based on how quickly I'm making things
I mean,
go
so
here.
we've still got a good 3 weeks right now.
We've had we've bitten off a reasonably big project, so we got to turn on the heat. Which we did yesterday. We built all day yesterday.
See,
building... Thank you, Fallen323, for the super sticker.
Oh,
thank
wow.
you.
Building large scale is completely foreign. Don't know what you're talking about.
So but the point I was getting at is we actually got a lot done.
Yep.
Over the weekend, or over yesterday. Getting things kind of like sketched out, and I started doing some of the work in building some of the work in studio because they have Fabuland parts. By the way, I wanted to let you know, Brickaroo Bonsai asked this, and I thought it would be good to just go ahead and put it out there. If you are really good with Bricklink and you want to do a render for this, absolutely feel free to do a render. All forms are welcome. And it's a great way, if you don't have access to them, to have access to Fabuland parts. So if you feel like you're really good and want to do a render like that rather than build with bricks, you're absolutely welcome to do that.
Are there really a lot of Fabuland parts in the studio inventory, though? I wouldn't think that there would be.
There are.
Including a Fabuland palette.
All the walls are there. The slides, like the little pieces, I've seen a lot of it. Like, maybe I didn't see
roofs.
Like, I saw decorated tiles and roof pieces. Like, it's all up there.
Are there figures? Because I guess that was the part that I was.
I don't think there are figures, however.
That's what I was.
Yeah, but there are parts, like all the window parts and everything. Like, for us, it was great. Sorry,
but there could be. I was going to say, but there could be. So the beautiful thing about Bricklink Studio is, for all the vintage or classic parts, if you're really good at CAD modeling, you can contribute to the component library of Bricklink. Yeah. It is that type of thing. Like, if you're wondering where the original classic space crater plates came from in Bricklink, that was someone who just sat down and put it through CAD and submitted it, and it's not part of the inventory. So
yeah, those Fabuland heads would not be the easiest thing to
model.
Yeah, they seem like they would be hard.
Anyway, where there's a will, there's a way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But before we take our deep dive into Bricklink,
and I'll get my presentation ready so I can
awesome
the notes.
It is time for Sticker Set Show and Tell. Yeah. Awesome. So what have we got here? I'm going to try and see if I can get us on the...
Someone else go
you
first.
know what? Flynn,
what's that?
I didn't actually do the research on this one.
Someone's in trouble.
I have the research from the Mines of Moria here.
Okay, so maybe somebody else can go first, and then you can quickly look this up.
Okay, I'm going to be right back.
I didn't do research, so I'll play Stump the Chump. Someone in the chat's going to have to ID mine.
Whoa! All right. Oh my goodness. We are all behind. Sorry, I guess I did that prematurely.
I was ready with my pen at least.
Well, I have a sticker set, so I'll start by asking the chat to identify where this came from.
Oh, okay. Let's see if we can figure this out. All right, Moto, you got the big screen. Oh, well, it's definitely Friends something.
Definitely Friends. It's got a nautical theme.
Is that the tour bus or something?
Yeah, I think that's Livy. She's the pop star.
Yeah, Livy's the pop star, but this is not it's Livy's pop star bus.
Yeah, the bus has got more stickers than that. I don't know, but I am digging that backdrop with the swirly clouds. Is amazing.
Yeah, is it clouds? Is it water? I can't tell. But maybe the
Yeah,
chat.
I am
Oh,
not
I'll put
sure.
the up. Ooh.
Whoop. Oh, thank you, Vicky Luttrell. Thank you so much. Yeah,
Hopefully,
that's pretty awesome.
there's the number. There's the number on it. 2015.
It is clouds, I think. Those are pretty awesome.
Maybe it's a stage.
Yeah, like a stage backdrop or something. Pop star
we'll ask
stage.
the wisdom of the chat. She'll come to our aid.
I'm sure somebody will be able to find it. How's it going in there, Richard?
I'm almost done.
Oh, he's almost done. All right. Well, then I'll go ahead and I will just put us up in here. Oh, what's the number on the sticker? Asks Minifig Chick.
Oh.
No, that's for Moto.
21223/6115-180.
There you go. All right, we're ready for ours now?
We are.
Okay, looks like we are ready for ours.
Oh, and look. See, I knew it. I did do the research. The card's right here. I just couldn't find it. Now I found it. Look at that.
All right.
So I'll read from the card. All right, so this is from, and neither one of them says the set number, but it's the Newbury Subway from Hidden Side, and it's a triptych, like a lot of those sets are, and it comes with our heroes. It comes with 3 figures. Our hero Jack, David's in his white hoodie. We've got Parker Jackson, and she's got lavender hair and teal headphones. And then Pete Peterson in a white hat and red.
Look at that bad banana.
I know there is. There's a total like banana.
Evil banana. And those control panels are really cool too. That'd be a Crookshank sticker for sure.
Yeah,
Crookshank.
I like the wood panels on it.
Yeah,
At
really
first
cool.
I thought it was Harry Potter, like it was the train station, but no.
That's a fun set. Oh, and Minifig Chick says, Moto, yours is from Pop Star Show Stage, set 41105.
Yes.
That's close.
Awesome.
There you go. All right.
Here, I'll come back over here again. Ooh, we're
Okay,
having our
Holly.
show on our D&D dice rolling mat.
Oh, we are.
Okay, so this one looks like it's from 75013, which is Mobile Heavy Cannon. But I like the stickers that are rounded.
Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, they're designed for those big wedges.
Exactly.
And these are all abstract enough you could use them on a lot of
totally.
models.
Yeah, so those are some good stickers to have
Very
in
cool.
your supply.
Hey, welcome, Doc Sampson. How's it going? And Moto, Lucid Builder is trying to get your attention. Say hello.
Hey, Lucid Builder.
So, let me see.
I don't have the chat today when I'm on the Zoom thing, so I'm sorry, guys.
Right, you can't always all see the chat,
But you have a lot of multimedia going on right now.
Hey, but you know what? You know where you can go to get stickers?
Where's that, Flynn?
Bricklink. Is a great source
I
for
hadn't
stickers.
really thought about that.
And maybe you hadn't thought of that, and maybe you didn't know. But today we're actually talking about Bricklink, and we are going to talk a little bit about how to use it. Now, a lot of people here, you may already know how to use it, but I also know that we have a lot of newer builders, newer to the hobby, that come and watch the show, and they don't exactly know what we're talking about when we do Bricklink. And even for people who have heard of Bricklink before or have tried it, sometimes can find it very difficult and confusing, which it can be. I mean, I think it's a really great service and a great program, but it's not like it's not as, say, like,
it's not
straightforward
as intuitive, right?
not as intuitive as, say, like eBay is, especially because with eBay you have to know, well, actually, you know what, it is kind of like eBay in that you have to know what you're looking for, but it's harder to know what you're looking for often in Lego parts than it is just to say, like, oh, I want to buy the Vincent Price Shrunken Apple sculpture kit, and look that up on eBay. Maybe I don't know what the name of this admittedly cool and new piece is. It's like the cake frosting or whatever.
Plate modified something.
Yeah, plate something.
Plate round modified.
So
something.
So Moto and Holly are going to grace us with the ability to learn a little bit about Bricklink, how to use it, and some tips and tricks that you will probably find very helpful in emptying your wallet.
Well, I'll raise my hand as a Bricklink newbie because Flynn has bought about 95% of the bricks we've bought.
Mm-hmm.
We consult on them and all that. But so I'm brand new and I have the bug to, I want to buy some stuff that I want on Bricklink.
Yeah, I think we want to, the rabbit hole goes deep. So we're going to start off with Moto doing kind of like a pretty thorough basic intro. Hopefully there's going to be some tips and tricks for people who are already pretty familiar with it too. So hopefully everybody gets something out of it.
Yeah, and
cool.
So I will attempt to share my screen. This is going to be the riskiest part of the tech today.
You should be able to do it. Shouldn't be too hard.
How'd that work?
Yep,
Yes.
There you go.
Okay, so welcome to Bricklink. I will say as a UX designer, Bricklink's interface and usability suck hard. That's why we're here today. So yeah, I'm going to go through some Bricklink basics, and some little introductory material here is that Dan Jacek created or founded Bricklink in 2000. What it really is, I explain it, it's like Etsy for Lego. So you can think of it as an open marketplace to buy and sell Lego sets, parts. Minifigs are included under parts, but there's so many minifig collectors, they've split it out. And recently, with Studio and some other technology, people are selling mocks. I'm going to primarily focus on parts, and I'll talk a little bit about sets today. The other big thing that Bricklink can do is they maintain Studio, which is going to be a separate topic of discussion at a later date. So I'll stay away from Studio. Recently, Bricklink was acquired by the Lego Group. So now it is owned by Lego. And there have been some changes since I first created this presentation. But overall, Bricklink is fundamentally what it is, and not much is going to change. Now, yeah, they could change the UI at some point, but today I'm going to cover really the marketplace. So I think it was a year or two ago, I did some research, and there was 53,938 elements in Bricklink, and there's 224 categories. So it can be imposing and overwhelming, but hopefully by the end of this presentation, you'll be familiar with some things. And also before I dig in, I want to say, why Bricklink? Why would you ever use this thing? Well, it's pretty fast. Most sellers will get you your pieces fairly quickly. Some sellers, as you get to know your favorite stores, are incredibly fast at shipping. Some of them advertise the fact that they can pick, pull, and ship within half a day or even a few hours pre-COVID. It's also a great community. I think a lot of the sellers out there are AFOLs and just are excited about it. And then I'll talk about different ways you can use Bricklink as we get into it. So the way I like to start.
Can I ask
Sure.
you a question?
Yeah, please do along.
If people have questions in the chat, do you want to save them up and maybe answer questions together at a certain point as opposed to being stopped? Or how would you like to deal with questions?
It's up to you. I mean, if it's relevant and we're on a screen, why not just ask it?
Okay, perfect. Just how to deal with questions. He's diving in.
Yeah, because I can't read the chat, I'd like it if you could relay them along.
Yeah,
or,
we'll do.
Or if you guys have questions too. So Bricklink, you can navigate into starting to buy pieces by clicking parts. Also, there's a main nav up here, which I'll just kind of touch on. There is a community aspect to Bricklink. I'm not going to get into that. If you are going to use Bricklink, you do have to create a profile, okay? And I won't go through how to create a profile, but you're going to want to basically create a profile as soon as you can. There's a lot of advantages and features that I'm digging into that only occur once you're signed in, okay? Once again, we talked about Studio. We're going to talk about the market. And just like you'd see in this main screen, the main nav here under catalog has sets, parts, minifigs, third-party gear. We'll get into a price guide a little bit later, color guides, things of that nature. But for now, I'm just going to dig into parts. So this is one aspect of Bricklink that sort of starts to cook people's noggin, is that Lego has produced a lot of elements. They are broken down alphabetically by different categories. It is, I will say this, when I was in AFOL, in order to learn the Lego system, I would just start to browse each of these categories and start to try to memorize the pieces. It's not normal to do that. I would say, yeah. I would say you start to learn the categories. One great way is if you have the eyesight for it, if you turn an element over, you can always type the element number.
Oh, I have a tip on that.
Start to auto return things back. Let's talk about things like.
Use your phone.
Yeah, just use your phone and take a picture of it and then zoom in. If you use the flash, it's really sharp.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
It's how I see half the world.
Pretty much. Let me turn one element over while I'm here. Okay, that one was upside down.
And if there's any way you can zoom your screen a little bit, it's very it's just sort of the center of the screen. We're not seeing. There we go, much better. Yep, okay, perfect. Yep. Thank you.
Okay.
So yes, you can definitely keyword,
you can keyword things.
Search, which is usually how I search for things.
Yeah, I'll just type what do I want to try.
You can also search by set number. So if you're missing a part from a set, then you can put in that set number and it'll show you all the parts in that set. And you can.
I am so glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take a brief detour. This is Brickset. I prefer to use Brickset for exploring and finding sets. It's just a lot better navigation type thing. But let's say I typed in Fabuland. Let's go in the theme.
This is exactly how I do it.
Yay!
We'll hit cottage. So one great thing about Brickset is it kind of goes hand in. They're independent entities, but Brickset is a much better navigation. You can see.
Can you zoom it, Moto?
Oh yeah. Is that better?
A little bit more. There you go. Thank you.
I'll go one more.
Perfect. That's perfect. Yep.
Okay, so Fabuland, which I looked up, I just clicked cottage, random college. The great thing is they have all the instructions linked to in PDF if they exist. This is a vintage set, so they're going to try to get you to a different place. But also, and I shouldn't have done Fabuland because it's pretty old, but I'll try Ninjago.
It's very cheerful though.
Oh yeah. And let's get Year Release Descending. Oh, how about this guy, Golden Mech? So parts. Parts is a tab.
Moto really is looking for any excuse to buy parts.
Yep. So the cool thing is, instead of relying on Brickset's part inventory, which is not complete at times, they have a quick link, view inventory at Bricklink. So yeah, if you're based on restoring a set or trying to find a missing piece from a set, I tend to look it up in Brickset, which has a better search capability, better categorization, and then it immediately can jump you into Bricklink, and then you click item consists of 467 parts. There's the sticker sheet.
Moto, I'm sorry to slow you down, but would you show where that quick link is again between between Brickset and Bricklink? Because that's a pretty cool tip.
It's under parts.
I hate to do it to you too, but whenever you open a new window, you have to zoom it in so we can see it.
Okay. So
parts tab.
Oh, I see it right above the image there, right?
Yep, parts.
Yep, I'm just gonna boop 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 like that. Give you right there parts, and it'll tell you 485. And once you go on it, the like Brickset is more beautiful, I would say, more usable. But Bricklink, it's right here. View inventory at Bricklink.
Yay!
Perfect.
Thanks.
Sure.
And you can just type the set number into Bricklink too, and it'll take you to the same place. It's just about where you're coming from sometimes. Makes it easier.
So I will do the search. There it is, Golden Mech.
Yeah, exactly.
Now the trick is, if I search Golden Mech, it's going to list the manual and the box in the search results.
Okay.
The way I notice that there's a set usually is it gives the product image really clean, whereas the box art and the manual are definitely more of the graphic type stuff you would see in a retail store.
And you can still get to one from the other too. So it's you might get lost, but it's pretty easy to find your way back.
Yeah, let me say I messed it up intentionally.
Yes,
Sometimes
Joel.
you have to actually hit the search bar too for it to work. I've noticed that.
So Joel says people buy boxes. Yes, people buy boxes.
Collectors of every bit of.
Oh, see, that one actually didn't work. Usually it'll say item appears in, and then it'll give you a link there.
This one was incomplete because it's so new, but
you can just put just put in 71702 and search again, and you'll eventually find the right one.
Yep.
And I think you can also, where it says all items, if you actually just drop that down to sets, that'll take you to a more direct spot too.
Yeah, but here we are. If I'm on a set, it has 467 parts. I'll just click on that. And let me try doing something. There we go.
Yeah, there was a feature here I just told Flynn about the other day down at the bottom.
Yes.
The part out feature.
Yes.
He was like, how are you finding all the Fabuland stuff? I was like, this is pretty much exactly what I was doing, was just searching all the Fabuland sets and parting them out into a want list.
Yeah. Another cool thing is there's always extra pieces in sets. Bricklink will tell you what those extra items were.
That's pretty cool.
You just have to scroll all the way to the bottom. The other neat thing is they also tell you the counterparts within the catalog. So, for example, a lot of used sets have the stickers already applied by someone because someone's parting out thrift donations or something bulk. They'll list kind of like what that piece looks like if the sticker is already pre-applied. Okay. It's really common that if you have a vehicle, the core listing will have the tread and the hub separately from the wheel, like the wheel pieces. But then down here in alternate items, you'll start to see where they're pre-assembled or put together as one unit.
And all of the images here, for anybody that doesn't use Bricklink and doesn't know, all of the images here are like stock photos. So what you see here is not necessarily what you get. You really do have to pay attention to the notes that the sellers have.
Yes.
And the condition, because sometimes it'll list a condition used or new, and used could mean that it doesn't look anything like the picture there.
Yeah, correct. In fact, let's try this part, because this part's been around for a while.
Right. So what you're saying is what we're seeing here is just a product image. It's not an actual like on eBay. It's not an image that somebody took of the picture of the thing that they have.
Yeah. So those pictures with the stickers on them, sometimes those stickers are going to be rubbed off or askew or whatever.
Yeah, they will not be Windex perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is another case where looking at this piece, I would not have known what to call this piece.
Right.
Yeah.
Angle plate.
Yeah, this is a perfect way to find it. Is if you find a part and you know that part comes in a certain set. I do that all the time, where I start with the set first and then look at the parts and go, there's that part. And
I've done that too. Yeah, I've definitely done that. It's like retro. I don't know what you would call that. Retro searching.
Yep. Yeah. And this is how you start to learn the categories, the way things are kind of placed into Bricklink. Mm-hmm. It's easier to kind of think of that piece you're going after and then see the category of it. And you can always click on the category. And then you start to...
I know.
Look, that's that piece we were looking for 2x2 cut corners last night.
Yeah. And that's typically when somebody asks me what the name of a part is, I'll give them more of like a keyword category than I know the actual part. I'm like, it's a cut plate, and because that's what I would type in to find that part to narrow it down.
Whoa, and that's all wedge plates now.
Yep. So let me go back and show you what I did. So by default, I can't remember whether it's list or list with images. I think it's list with images tends to be the default. I like to immediately click on thumbnail gallery because I'm a visual person. So if I'm studying the catalog and I'm just trying to go through and see what's available, these are all wedges. So anything with like a cut corner is called a wedge. Now there's going to be wedge comma plate, and there's going to be wedge comma brick. But wedge is a pretty common term. And I'm going to make sure the door is locked.
Oh, and sorry. So while we're just real quick, I also wanted to mention with wedge plates. Now, not all of them are like this, but there are quite a few. Like if you look here at 43723 and 43722, that have a left and a right side.
Yes.
So if you are if you're looking for wedge plates, and you're wanting to use it for something like I made the mistake early on where I was doing a plate project where I wanted to have lots of plate terracing, and I was like, oh, wedge plates, and I ended up ordering like a whole bunch of wedge plates, and then when I got them, they were all the same side. So I had to really work to make that work correctly. So just make sure that, you know, when you're looking for wedge plates, you do look for both sides if you need that.
Yeah, and also, lovingly in the catalog, the left and right are not always next to each other. So once again, there's this weird element in the middle of these two. You're going to see that these two would go together, but then these two go together. So there's always hips and skips and stuff like that in there.
Yeah.
And notice that you can sort it. So up there, you on almost every page you have options to filter and sort. So make use of that. You know. So let's see, item number is probably how you want to sort it to get them next to each other right there. Well, actually, probably not even necessarily.
Nope. No.
Yeah, sometimes the numbers don't coincide.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
It took those left and
The other thing is ignore the colors that you see before you. We'll talk about what colors these elements come in.
Yeah.
Usually it's the first color that they just happen to get the stock image for will be there. But you'll notice like white was on this, I don't know what you call it, left, and this red is on the right.
Yeah.
The colors are merely kind of thrown all together and blended. So like once again, this color match that color, things of that nature are going to happen.
So what we're seeing here is all unique shapes, and then you have to drill down further.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to use this one as an example of a slightly little subtopic. So if I look at this, it's an 8x8 wedge, but it's got a cutout in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the question is, what color does this come in? Now there's going to be a ton of colors you can pick from. I like to go to known.
Yeah.
These are all the known colors. But if you're shopping and you're color agnostic, you can also see how popular this is by clicking popular. So dark blue gray is, has a ranking of 1, whereas blue has 287. And the reason is this piece was used in a lot of classic space. So blue, not surprising, is going to be there. Ice Planet, a little later on, white's going to be tougher to find.
Yeah, scroll down to color info, and that kind of gives you an idea right there, those numbers.
So I wanted to, if I may, so just something that I discovered on this is like where it says lots for sale, those are the numbers, those are the ones that you can get. Do not get confused and look at the list under on wanted list, because people will put stuff on their wanted list in colors that don't exist. So the thing to look at here is the one that's underneath lots for sale, if you want to know what colors are available.
Right. And generally, like Moto was saying, the larger the number, the more readily available that part is going to be, which means the more affordable it's going to be.
Right.
Yep.
Hopefully.
Right. Don't look for a dark bluish gray. That's
exactly. Yeah. If you see, if you really have your heart set on that on a dark bluish gray, you should try really hard to make it another color.
Yeah. So let's take an example. Let's take blue. So price guide is another sub tab underneath here. So what we're going to see is the amount that's sold in the last 6 months. Now, once again, I know this is a vintage part, so there is 0 new. Everything is used. There's a min price of 3 cents. Mostly you want to focus around this average price. And this is the price where when someone's really trying to rip you off.
Yep.
Or you're desperate. This might have been the dark bluish gray, by the way, that $1.99. Now you can also see the quantities that they sold at. So basically there's not a lot of anything over 2 that was sold. There was a nice 4 in here. Someone got lucky with 7. And then the price keeps going up and up and up, so on and so forth. So you can see the individual stats.
No,
And
no, this is
this becomes particularly useful when you're adding parts to your want list, because it gives you because there's an option when you're saving parts to your want list that you can put in a max price. So this is a good spot to check what you're willing to pay for that part.
Yes. Now, if you want this new, you can feel free to spend $20 per element, or feel free to drop $45 on a new piece. I would say that's probably a bad decision, but
and that new means that it's never been
used.
Yeah.
Right out of a sealed box.
Yeah, we're getting a request if you can enlarge it one more click there, Moto.
Okay, hold on.
There you go. Oh, that's great. Yeah.
And then what are these red and green indicators?
So
this might be the feedback, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is I think that's like a flag.
It was positive, negative feedback, I think, against the store.
I will say that this particular piece is drilling down pretty far.
Yeah.
So for anybody who's new to this, do not be intimidated by this. This is I would put this more on a medium to advanced level.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is usually if you're looking for a rare part or an unusual part that you would start digging a little.
Yeah. Bit. I just wanted to call out. Let's try dark gray. Nothing.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So, I just knew that this was a less common part, and it would be a good example of trying to talk about items for sale. So what I'm trying to do with a rarer part is get into how do you start to purchase this piece. Oh, I should take it off dark gray. Let's try blue.
And actually the purchasing part is the most confusing.
Yeah.
Look at that. It was in 15 sets.
Yeah, well, I mean, just when you actually get ready to when you created your cart and you're trying to check out, that's the part that when I first started using Bricklink threw me a little bit, as I don't really understand how much this is going to cost.
Yeah.
Well, Flynn's got me afraid of shipping.
Exactly. Yeah.
You gotta watch it. You gotta watch the shipping. That is, if I could give no other tip, watch the shipping, because man, I'll tell you, people have different options for shipping, and some people, try to give you the cheapest option, and some people have a flat rate or worse.
Yeah, so read the terms on everybody. I'm sure Moto will show you this, but on everybody's store site, they have a page for terms. So you got to read through the terms and see if there's any gotchas in there. You want to start local, so try to shop as close to you as possible, so that the shipping should be relatively less, obviously, than if you're getting
So So if I'm looking for a piece, this particular piece, I can expand it to 100 per page if I want, which I always do. Now, the first thing I do is more options. I wish this by default was expanded.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so
I hate that.
One tip or trick is, if you're getting ready to look for a piece, always click more options. I can do, now because I'm based in the USA, North America, anywhere, I'm sure this would default for different people. I'm going to start by just searching USA, because I can see Netherlands, France, Germany, UK. A lot of these are foreign sellers for this particular element, which is what I was trying to get to. So once I whittle this down, I can see now and so this is where you want to start to read descriptions. Dang it, I did not want that back. So very play worn. That gives you an indication of how used this piece is, okay? Now, it's going to default to lowest price, which is okay and cool. I want to start to introduce you to the fantastic minimum buy. So certain sellers have said, in order to run my store, and in order for me to, keep this going, I can't just sell 3-cent pieces.
Right.
For my labor, for me going to the inventory, picking it, pulling it, packing it, shipping it. So a lot of sellers will have a minimum buy. If you're looking for, some stores have bulk in their name, it's not uncommon you'll start to see $20 or $30 minimum buy lots, because they're really trying to operate as just a bulk order distribution center, and that's the reason their minimum buys are so high. But also, we'll get into terms. They'll also say you have to order lots of 100x or something like that. Okay, I might not hit a store like that today, but there are a lot of variety to the different stores that are out there. This one, $1.99, $3 for two. You can show, so for example, Richard and Flynn, if they need a lot of basic brick, let's go into parts.
Hey, real quick before we do this,
Oh, yeah.
it is that
Yeah.
certain time of the day.
Ooh, all right.
So let's, real quick, we're going to take the pause that refreshes. That's right, it is Logan cookie time. We got to get back onto the...
He knew it too.
Here we go. Oh my goodness.
He's freaking out.
Oh, nope, wrong one. Here we go. Moto, can you take out of screen sharing?
How, there we go. Sorry about that.
It's okay. Hooray, it's Logan cookie time.
He loves these.
Oh yeah, he's getting... Hey, it's Skittles. And it's a baby tiger with really abnormally large eyes. That is very
Sparkly
cute.
eyes.
Everyone, look right at the
Yay,
Good
Logan.
boy.
Moto.
Gone.
Good boy.
What a good dog.
It's getting warm in here, so I'm gonna...
Logan cookie time. All right. Woo! I didn't know it was going to be that kind of a show.
That was
Ooh,
the
she came running.
All
She
right.
came running.
awesome
Alright.
classic space.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we did have a question real quick while you
Okay.
come out while we're paused. See you later was asking if it's better to if you're living in the U.S. if it's better to buy from a U.S. seller.
Generally.
Yep.
Generally, yes. However, I mean, especially
Exceptions.
right now.
Asterisk, Fabuland, certain
Exactly.
things and certain
Yeah.
sizes of lots
Mm-hmm.
require you to go overseas.
Got it. And the main reason, I mean, other than supporting local businesses, the main reason would be shipping, right?
Yeah, shipping.
Yeah.
It can be tricky and time, right? Like just
Time's
it
the big
takes.
one.
Oh, of course, it's going to take a long time to get it from.
Yeah,
places
like I used to do North America, but I'm noticing that a lot of Canadian sellers are no longer selling to the US.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we got stuff from Denmark very quickly that wasn't from Lego.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. Sometimes I get stuff from Germany, like crazy quick.
Yeah, it really depends. Like I heard Germany's having a really hard time with shipping stuff out right now.
Yeah, every German order I've placed has always taken 3 weeks to 4 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
Got it.
2 weeks at best.
I think my Fabuland order is coming from the Netherlands, so hopefully they're not having any.
Yeah.
Shoot.
All right, Michael.
Oh,
shall we
wow,
head
Rob-
back to the
Rob
what's that?
Sure.
Ketcher's side, I agree. I've never seen a TransClear 1x2 jumper here,
Oh wow.
but they're available in England.
I want that.
Fancy.
Yeah, there you go.
As everybody adds to their want list. So-
Yeah.
I will get to the want list soon. I just wanted to give the example of a basic brick, which is under brick, which you would think. Now,
Wow.
the other thing with Bricklink catalog with legacy vintage stuff is Bricklink will start to separate the different molding types that have occurred over time. So, for example, like 3004, sometimes you'll see A's, but you'll notice like, what's the difference between 305 F2 and 3005? Well, 3005 is going to be very popular. That's like your average standard brick, but there are certain variations in the mold going back a bit, and you're going to see these extra modifiers. So for the sake of pricing, just if you start to see strange characters on the end of the number, you probably just want to stick to the basic one.
Got it.
And sometimes it'll even tell you, Bricklink will say like, oh, this is similar to such and such part.
Yeah.
So that gets especially like when you're looking into panels and things, there's lots of variations of
Yeah.
panels. It'll start to kind of, like if you can't find a certain panel in that color that you know exists, it's probably a different type. And even if you go to any panel part, sometimes it'll have listed there like other alternatives for it.
Yeah, and you start to get into things like 3001 old,
Yeah.
Got it.
special, and
Yeah.
but let's just say good old 3001, our favorite little brick.
I was just
What
looking
color do
at
you guys
these
want?
yesterday.
Yeah, what color do you want? There's going to be a lot.
Apparently, red being the most popular. Huh.
Okay, we'll go
Thank
with red.
you, Nam. Thank you so much.
Well, I think about this is
See, there you go, right there. See, it's
archetypal.
similar in mold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So without the cross supports, that 3001 old, that would probably be a Fabuland brick right there.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, or you can start to get into Samsonite stuff too. It's just insanely ancient type stuff.
hey, Mel is here. Iceberg Bricks. Hey, Mel. How's it
Hey,
going?
what's up, Berg?
You know where to find me.
So
Okay, so I wanted to use the brick as lovely. Look at that Warner bite
Yeah,
marks.
exactly.
Who wants that?
nice.
Yeah, this is a good example of paying attention to the notes. And of course, the
Heavy.
condition there, the condition over to the right is, when you're getting into old parts, is of course going to be used.
Yep. Now, I wanted to mention the way of sorting. So for example, if you are going to need a lot of stuff, this is where it gets into shipping, where if you need a lot of things, sometimes it's better to pay more per brick in order to get the bundle into one store rather than 10s or 20s of stores. So I'm going to just do highest quantity. And now we've gone from 1 cent up to 20 cents.
Wow.
That was this was my problem when I was looking at yesterday. Like I wanted to buy more than 25, and what I found in some cases was that it's not so much on this one, but on some of them I started noticing that the more bricks the person had, the more they were charging for them. That's not always true.
No,
but
it's I call it directionally correct. And the reason is they understand that if you need more brick, you're trying to bundle things to save shipping cost, but they've calculated the break even of how close to that line can I get before someone skips. So how much can I charge to keep a single bundle and save on shipping versus the cost of the total amount.
I saw
it's like
somebody.
the brick market.
I saw somebody selling 2x4 bricks for $1 each yesterday.
Yeah, that's ludicrous.
That's just stupid. Yeah, it's dizzying. It is seriously dizzying sometimes trying to figure out where that breaking point is. And sometimes you spend so much time, like if you've spent so much time like building a cart.
There it is, my favorite guys right there.
And then you get to the part where it's like you realize that shipping is going to be like twice as much as your order, and then you have to abandon your cart and then start another cart. By the time you've done that like 3 or 4 times, you don't even care anymore. You're like, fine, I will pay 3 times the shipping to not have to shop anymore.
Well, now here's a great example of a minimum buy for a bulk store. It's $99.99. But what I like to do is, I have my break-even point, so I like to scroll down and try to guesstimate. There's 98, 66. Let's just stop for a minute. We're starting to get into 10 cent range. There you go.
Yeah, see, that's more what
6.
I would expect
there we
to
go.
spend.
Yeah.
6 cents.
Yeah.
And now the person has 70 of them. So if you're trying to buy 200, it's going to come at a premium.
It can. Like I could have stuck on the 200 and started to look around, but to me, you start to, after you've scrolled through for a while, like if this is one place that's possible, hold the control key down and click. And that way it opens a new tab and you can keep searching. So by control clicking, I can very quickly have, 8 stores all competing for my business.
Oh, very clever.
Okay, and I start to click through the tabs and starting to build a cart very quickly, and I basically have, the market compete against themselves rather than me clicking one at a time back and forth.
It stops me from shopping more.
Yeah.
And
so
then
somebody did mention in the chat that they were surprised that people will try to sell parts with like bite marks and that are faded or whatever, which there is a place for that. Like sometimes if you can get those like chewed up nasty parts for cheap, those make good filler bricks. You can just kind of keep them stashed off somewhere where you can use them structure where people never see them. It's just a cheap option.
Where is it?
Well, so just while we're paused, so another way I know that I like to look for stuff, especially when you're working on something like this Fab Max project, is searching for stuff by color.
Yeah.
Because you can find, that way you can go, okay, well, what I need blue stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Look through, And you'd be surprised at the really cool parts that come in blue, right? Like you didn't know, oh, I didn't know they made such and such in blue.
Yeah. Or sometimes you can just search by size too. You can go into the Bricklink keyword search and just put in like 4x4, or if you're looking for a weird size, you know, like 4x12 or something, if you need to bridge something, and just kind of see like what's available in that size. There's all kinds of ways to do keyword searches to come up with just about anything you could possibly need. It's just the shopping. It's the actual shopping part. It's the building the carts and the checkout process, I think, that are, to me, the most kind of convoluted and sometimes disheartening.
Yeah, I just want to talk about distressed brick. So Fab Max.
Yeah, wow.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh.
This was a used lot where someone kept it in a barn and mice chewed up the brick.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
That's kind of cool though, right?
That looks really cool though. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. Like an apocalyptic build. That's
we were faking that.
Yeah, so you know, sometimes you do want to just throw these somewhere, and when it's time, if you want battle damaged brick.
Yeah, that's great.
I thought my slightly yellowed white bricks looked, you know, just horribly deformed.
Those are intense.
Yeah, I love using off
Sorry for
bricks too.
Yeah, that took a little bit of time, but I'll get back to sharing screen here. Sorry for the
No
diversion.
sweat, Moto. This is great. I've learned so many tips.
I know. I've already learned a bunch.
Yeah. So, given the time, I think it's time to talk about wanted lists. So, there are definitely more. So, I'm going to stop for a minute. So, catalog, we've been doing this view and search. We talked about price guide. I like to talk about the color guide. So, if you're a guy like me, and let's find coral.
Yeah, come on.
Where to go?
Know your audience.
Yeah, where do you even put it with the
There we go.
pinks, with the oranges?
It has 76 pieces and 92 sets, 293 wanted, and only 83 for sale. So, Tricky Lug, thank you very much for skewing the demographics on coral. But no, you can also shop by color, and I'll probably do this with my wanted list, but this is every single element that comes in the colored coral. So once again, the images are not representative of color in Bricklink. It's just that if you're looking for general shapes, so there's a snot brick in coral, that's cool. Printed elements, figs are all thrown in the mix.
Coral and coral.
Coral and coral. Who knew? Surprise,
That
black
bear,
ears.
that iconic bear.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna have to come back.
Squirrel. Coral.
I just wanted everybody to know that I just got a coral sloth in the mail.
Oh man.
Baby sloth.
Look at that.
So if you find an element you like, for example, this piece, add to my wanted list.
What's that called? I always call it the fingernail piece. It's just a long curved slope.
Yeah, it's a 10 by curved slope.
Yeah, I just call it a curved slope.
This is what it looks like in red. That's the reason I'm getting distracted. But I'm going to add to my wanted list. Now, you can always do a quantity if you want an unlimited amount. In other words, it's just a nice to have. You can always knock that off. Otherwise, when you're buying a certain quantity, I won't demonstrate it, but as you start to buy, you can take your purchase lot and then apply those amounts to the quantity you wanted. So it'll keep track of how many you purchased.
I'll show them how to do that in the next, in the next portion. That max price right there. That's
there's the max price.
That's where we're looking at the average price per piece to find out what a reasonable max price would be.
We could. I'm just going to put $800 because I'm not carrying today. I want.
You really want that part, don't you?
I want that sucker.
You can just leave it blank too. I very rarely ever fill those out.
Yeah. So once you have a favorite, the presentation is right over the top of my wanted list. You get a default wanted list when you start to create a wanted list. I created a separate one called nice to have, and I'll show you why. Let's go into my default wanted list. Freaky Quattro Boy, never get that.
Nice.
I feel like I'm looking in on something, like behind the scenes.
You are. I should.
Into the mind of Moto.
Into the mind of Moto. We're going to go after this curve slope here. This is an easy one to get. By the way, oh, no, I shouldn't have done that. Okay, let's go back. Okay, I'm going to select, let's say I needed I needed that tire. I needed this thing for my Fab Max build. Oh yeah, and by the way, I should have done 100 per page.
Yeah, that I wish you could change the default on that thing too.
Yeah, what did you just do?
How many?
How many it shows
got it.
per page.
Yeah.
I have 67 items that I want, so I just I changed it to 100 per page now.
I do that too.
It changes the complete order of everything, but let's try that one. Let's try Spooky Wing.
So now you've seriously narrowed the number of stores that might have everything you're looking for today.
Yes.
That is what I'm trying to get to, because now I can do, where's the auto buy? Buy right 3 there. Selected.
Mm-hmm. The little wizard tool is so cool.
So yeah, there is a wizard tool here. I've got all 3 pieces. Let's say I was building a mock, and these are the 3 pieces I needed. I don't know what kind of mock would involve these 3, but it'd be pretty freaky.
I'm there.
And I'm gonna, once again, let's filter to the USA. I'm going to exclude my disliked stores. So if I've ever purchased from someone and I did not like them, I can put them in a dislike category. I won't go into that. I'm not going to include stores that do not ship to me. That makes sense. And then you can always restrict lots over your max price. Let's do USA. And does anybody have all 3? They do not. Okay, I did something too freaky. But what will happen is this auto picker will start to find like that one store that has the most of everything you're looking for the quantity you want.
So then presumably you could uncheck one or more of those items.
Yeah, you can start to manipulate it and do certain things.
Which I have to do all the time because there's always like 1 or 2 pieces in my want list that just kind of throw off the whole algorithm.
Let's do that.
And they're too rare, right?
Yeah, and sometimes it's not super smart really about building those cards because I'm not sure how it feels like it's kind of agnostic of shipping costs and things. It's not like in eBay, you can sort by.
No, it's alphabetical.
Yeah,
it's alphabetical. So once again, I like to hold the control key down, and I'm going to click, let's say 13th warrior. Okay, alphabetical. Oh. That wasn't it. Okay, let me zoom in. I then go to my wanted list because, I was looking for those 3, but maybe, and also, by the way, if you're in a store now and you're starting to think about buying things, you can sort by price descending. So I'm going to show all the cheapest stuff. So I'm always on the hunt for jumpers. Mm-hmm. And by the way, I've got my default list. I have my nice to haves.
I can check those lists.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you have like certain things going on, like I used to have a Technic list. I just knocked it out for today to keep it nice and simple down to 2. But I can go after Mixels. This person is 133 at 5 cents. 5 cents for this piece is a pretty good price. But you start to memorize kind of the prices you're willing to pay so that, like we talked about, if you're going to be paying for shipping, it doesn't hurt to bundle in a lot of stuff that you normally use in the future or that you're running low on.
Yeah, and sometimes you have to even just to meet the minimum buy.
Yeah,
that's true too.
That's always good because you just never know what somebody else, because especially since a lot of these stores have so many parts.
Yep. So what I'll do is I'll get the stuff I need. I'll add anything that's at a lower price. And by the way, I opened something like 6 tabs, and I have the stores starting to compete against each other. Once I'm down to maybe 2, I'll start to get off the wanted list. I'll go all items. This lists all the parts in the store, okay? Now, sticker sheet is a category. So you could be shopping for those beautiful sticker sheets for show and tell, or
I just saw the one I showed today.
Because I'm nuts, I like to go by color. Let's go head over to Coral.
Yeah, I do that too.
Oh, cool.
This is how I gradually build up all of the weird rare colors that are difficult to get if you're just doing bulk buys.
Wow, very smart, Moto. That's a great
So chrome silvers that
And then also right there you can hit if you see a part that's really cool, you can hit that little heart button right there, and that's a shortcut to adding that stuff to your want list. This is how we run out of money right here.
Yeah, right here. So this is a metal axle. Purple, that's Technic. Let's try trans light blue because that's one of my favorites. But what I'll do is I'll take a gradual run at anything glitter trans blue. There you go. There's the wolf eye. They've got one in there. So I could basically grab another wolf eye component.
Did you say a gradual run? That is so neuromancer of you.
Yeah.
I just did I did a part run.
Yeah, exactly. But you get the idea that there's certain colors like chrome silver, or you'll learn that there's rare colors out there that are very hard to come by. And just by going after a couple of color pieces, like where's the glow in the dark? Oh, this person doesn't have it.
It's white. It's a white, or what is it? Isn't it under?
It would be in here. They just don't have any.
Okay.
There's glow in the dark white and glow in the dark transparent type stuff, milky. But there's basically categories. So if they had any glow in the dark, because I love the spooky stuff, I'd be hitting that category up and taking a look at it.
Moto, this is amazing. I've never thought to do this before. This is awesome.
And then up top, if you go by category, say we've got Fabuland on the brain, you go to by category and you can just scroll down to isn't there a Fabuland? Yeah.
Nope.
So they don't have any, but there should be like a Fabuland category
magnet.
for
They've got a magnet holder
or Technic or whatever, the stuff that you normally shop for, you can just shop by category there to see what they have in their store.
Well, and this is the depth to which I've gotten with Bricklink. That's the one thing I do is once I find my piece, I look and see if there's other cool pieces that they sell.
Exactly. And next, it's like you go in, thinking you're going to spend $5, and next thing you know, you've spent 50.
Yeah.
So windscreen decorated, that might be an interesting Oh, not nearly as cool as I thought. But there you go.
Exactly. Honey, I would bought some bricks.
I would go after that sucker.
Right there.
Yeah, this is printed though. This is from the latest space thing, and it's awesome. Or that might even be Batman.
And also keep in mind that so if you can show the cart, if you go to the cart, it'll start to show you the weight of these pieces. So as you start to add the bigger, bulkier pieces to your cart, you want to pay attention to how much that weight is adding up to. And then you can kind of cross-reference that with their terms, sometimes with their terms page to figure out what the shipping might look like if it's not already calculated.
Let's talk a little bit about terms. All in caps, exclamation points. Okay.
I'm accustomed to terms like this from eBay.
Yeah, this is very eBay-ish.
So another fun fact is PayPal and Bricklink are closely intertwined. They were both friends and influenced each other early in the days of the internet. So if you want to use Bricklink, you're going to have to get a PayPal account. This is the majority of the way that you're going to buy things on Bricklink, okay? So yeah, besides making a Bricklink account, you're probably going to need a PayPal account. Or not probably, you will be creating a PayPal account. Now this person does, stickers I charge for insurance on package, okay. USPS, state tax, don't refund lost or stolen. Now, I want to look for a processing fee because that.
Yeah, step one.
There it is.
Yeah, processing fee of $1.
That's not too bad.
That's not bad. It takes time to.
Yeah.
When I made my last purchase, and I don't advocate for this, but every piece type was in its own bag, even if I bought one tile, and I don't want to use that much, packaging and all that, but processing those things takes them time.
Yep.
Yeah,
and usually I'm reading the terms to try and help calculate shipping. This is usually where you'll find some of the shipping information if it's not already calculated in the checkout process.
Yeah, I will say, look at your cart, look at your cart, look at your cart. One way I'll do that is let's go to the wanted list again.
These wanted lists are like the tarot of Moto.
I'm going to max this thing out. Okay, let's take a view. Ooh, Jesus.
Whoa, wow.
Okay, so I'm not going to do this because I just went max. But the reason I did it is if you go for a high quantity, high dollar amount, there is a way to configure your store so that there's a handling fee for each piece. And you're going to start to see this estimated shipping and handling go way up incrementally as you add more quantity.
Whoa.
So this person has a $1 flat, which I think is really the way to go. But if you start to change quantities and just manipulate them around, if this number starts jumping pretty quickly, you're going to realize that the price per piece was really low because they're going to incrementally, subtly add to the H handling part of your order.
Yeah.
So it was not as advertised, in other words. So you got to be careful when you're looking at the system.
And sometimes it'll jump. You know, it might jump if you hit like a different weight.
But if you do like one piece at a time, you start to see it tick upwards. That should be a flag, a caution flag.
So Brick Orphanage says processing fee also covers the 30-cent fee that PayPal charges on top of most of the orders, and then also the mailer cost. So that's what the processing fee is about. I also, while we're on this, something really, really good is to look at the feedback that the seller has gotten.
Yeah, and you can eliminate that too as you're searching, or you can filter out stores that have negative feedback.
This person has 14,063 praise.
And those little color bricks are kind of like their ranking. If you click on the color brick next to the 1463, it'll kind of explain what those colors mean as far as ranking.
Yeah, this person is kicking butt from what I can tell.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna dump this cart.
What? Really?
So just so you know, we've got about 20 minutes left.
So I was gonna kind of wrap it up. There's always more I can cover, of course. Under your profile, every time you do an order, you kind of get messages. Like one time someone didn't have the piece when I ordered it.
Right.
What they did is they bought it from another seller and had it shipped to me. Yeah. And there were some messages going back and forth. I have 2 orders.
If something's missing,
if you start to find stores that are really, really good, you can put them in your favorites. I'm not going to click on it because I don't want you guys to wipe out my awesome store that I love. But you can, there's feedbacks, quotes, various ways of purchasing. One way is you have to pay by PayPal at the time that you complete your cart.
Yep.
You instantly pay. Another way is that the person pulls all the stuff together and then the pay button appears on the site. So you have to keep checking every day your order status. The slowest way, the other way, is that they generate an invoice. So what they're doing is waiting for a while, and then they complete an invoice, and then they send you an invoice email, and then you have to go to PayPal separately, and you manually transact it outside the system, and then you flag it as being paid.
I had that experience, but I found the store I dealt with prepared that invoice very quickly. But what I the thing I didn't like about that is that it didn't add in the shipping until I received the invoice. So I had no idea in this thing that I purchased what the shipping was going to be.
Yeah, I find that issue sometimes. You can email somebody to ask them to give you an estimate.
Yeah.
But I'm not. But like, how do you do that when you don't? Because you don't want to say I'm going to purchase it if you don't know if if the shipping's too high.
Yeah, usually I just include that in the notes section. Like I just did that recently, actually, where it was like you're committing to make the purchase regardless of what the shipping costs.
Yeah.
And there's no way for me to know what the shipping costs were, so I just put it in the notes when I was checking out that kind of pending shipping costs. Could I get an invoice first, please?
Right.
And they honored that, and they actually helped me. Like they actually allowed me to put in another order to kind of like max out the shipping costs.
Yeah, it's called request for invoice, and also when you request for invoice, you do it when you think you're going to buy more as well. So there's a discussion and time and pacing.
But sometimes there's not that option for request invoice.
And the reason is it's the oldest legacy way stores were set up on Bricklink. And some people just don't go back and update to the modern or the more seamless way of transacting, which is integrated PayPal.
You can say better.
Very neutral of you.
Do you guys want me to do the quick?
And sorry, Holly, I took too much time.
No, I want to hear what you have to say. I already learned a bunch of stuff, and
now let's
learn some more.
Okay, so I'm going to do a quick demo here going out of studio. So I'm not going to do the studio demo, obviously, because we don't have time, and somebody else is going to take over that. You guys are seeing my screen here?
Yay!
Oh, well, thank you for preparing it anyway, Holly.
Look at
My
that.
gosh.
Yeah, so I thought you'd like this. This is something I designed in Bricklink's studio. So this is Bricklink's software that they've built, and that's wonderful. And you can do all your design work here. And you can see I was just looking for fabulous pieces in the inventory here.
Well, would you consider a rain check on this? I would love to hear this part of the presentation too when there's more time.
I'm just going to build a want list from studio.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were saying that you had been planning on going over studio and then changed your mind.
I'm not doing the studio demo right now.
I understand. Thank you.
Yes. Okay.
But there is one coming. I will say that.
Yeah, which somebody else is doing. So anyway, so I've already done my design in studio, and I have all my parts here, and I should be able to get to my. Sorry, my thing's on the other screen. Model info. So if I pull up my model info, you can see here all the parts that are listed here that I've used. It kind of gives me a general idea here based on what I have in this list of how many parts I've used to build it and what the total price, at its best guess, as to what the total price would be to build it. Because I have some kind of older rarer parts in here, it would say, it's like $200 outright if I were to just buy all the parts as they are in this design. So that's the part where I would probably kind of go through my design and figure out which parts are really pricey and see if I could substitute them. But let's just say I'm going straight from this. It has this option right here, add to my want list. And there's also an option here up at the top right corner. So I'm logged into my account, my Bricklink account. And then there's this little cart button here. So if I'm ready to buy all these parts so I can make a practical build, I just hit that add to wanted list. It's gonna log into my account. It has this like XML format of the descriptions for all the parts and pieces. I'm gonna go to we can add to, you can see I have a few more want lists than Moto does.
Holy.
Whoa.
Oh, man. I'm glad I cleaned mine up.
But I can, call this something else. This is like, version 8 of Mitch's van or something. So I'll just leave it as whatever the file is called. You go to proceed to verify items. And this is going to show you like a list of all the parts. So right here, if I already have, let's say I already have a ton of these 1x1 plates and I don't need those. This is one thing, if Bricklink's listening, I wish that this title here kind of floated so you knew what was what. But so the right-hand column is exclude. So I can go in here and exclude parts that I already know I have a ton of on hand and I don't need to order those.
Yeah.
You can also, would this be an appropriate place, a pretty convenient place to look at the things that are sending your budget through the roof, right?
I mean, I would do that in the design phase, but you find that out pretty quickly too as you start to shop for parts, that which parts are going to be the hard to find ones, and I'll show you that. You can also change the quantity. So if there's a couple of like, say this glass roof piece is kind of like a hard to find piece, and I want to have, say I want to make a couple of these models or something, maybe I can change the quantity there, so I have a couple of those pieces on hand. Sometimes I do that. You can change the condition here. So if you're really hell bent on having nice new shiny parts, you can change all these to new. I'm just gonna leave it as is and add to wanted list. So now you'll see, here's my list of parts ready to go.
Do you want to check all of them and try the auto buy and see what happens?
Yeah, I mean, I can just hit buy all, and it'll
Yep.
do its best to try and like find the stores that have the parts. So you can kind of see I'm following like where Moto ended up, just from design to like then getting the parts.
Can you zoom your screen a little bit?
Wow.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
One more. There you go. Perfect.
So there we go. So now under wanted list, and you can see I can add other want lists too. So if I'm trying to build, a couple of things that have a similar due date, then I can check as many want lists as I want, and it'll compile, it'll change this algorithm here. same thing, if I go to my wanted items and I find that, there's one particular part after I've searched around, say that windscreen is like really hosing me and messing up my carts, I can just uncheck it and see it's gonna change that algorithm. So I select this.
Germany again.
So instead of doing auto select, where it's just going to build a bunch of carts, like it tries to be smart about it, and it usually is not very smart about it. It ends up being really expensive doing it that way. So I do it manually, where I go to each store. Same thing. I can start in the U.S. Up here, see where it says exclude disliked stores. So if there's stores that I had a bad experience with, for whatever, you can filter those out. Stores that do not ship to me, that'll save you a lot of grief if you can check that one, because there's no point in having a cart if they're not going to send it to you. Store accepts US dollar. That's usually a good thing. And you can even check instant checkout. If you just don't want to deal with the back and forth of invoicing and pricing, you can narrow it down to instant checkout too. Just know that the more things you check here, the less options you're going to get. Sometimes you just have to be willing to go overseas if you know that some of the parts you're looking for are hard to find. So I'm going to start with the store that has the most pieces that I'm looking for. And I hit select there. Now this is pretty important. Right here, the sort by price. If I scroll all the way to the bottom, that's usually where I'm going to find that $37 part.
Oh my goodness.
Holy
That maybe
bananas.
I don't need so bad.
And the sunroof. So this is a great thing. The more you use Bricklink, the more you start to understand the rarity of certain items, and so
Exactly.
you don't fall into this trap of like I'm predisposed to common elements when I design and I build, just because of this reason, right?
Yeah. So, but there is a solution for that. I can remove it. I hit the remove button. Remove. I just keep removing until I get down to like reasonable parts. I only need 3 of these glasses. These are probably pretty rare. It's not a very big build. Maybe I can eat the $3 apart.
Now, are those, when you remove them, are you just removing them from this cart and they're still in your want list?
Exactly. So then they go back into kind of this pool where now they're going to kind of recalculate that algorithm to try and put those parts into, try to find them from another store. So now
I see one of my favorites in here.
So when I hit the bottom, all it does is it makes a cart for me, and it's still like $100. So obviously I need to go in here and noodle this, but I can now go down to the next shop and do the same thing. Scroll down to the bottom. Okay, $1.75. Nothing in here is looking like, of course I need 13 of these. And actually there's this weird thing in Studio that you can't put a hinge assembly in your design. So I would probably go into my want list, remove each side of the hinge, and actually put in hinge assembly. So then it's actually more affordable than just trying to find half a hinge.
Right.
So I can remove that guy. The rest of this looks about right. Confirm selection. So see, it starts to build these carts here. And then say I've got, now we're down to just 6 pieces, 4 pieces, whatever. That's probably going to be there. There's that $37.
Oh my God.
Of course, this is before you go shopping at all those stores.
Yeah, exactly. And then, like I said, I can go back to the design and like change those pieces around, which is probably what I did, or found some other substitute. I'm pretty sure I did not pay $40 for that windscreen. But so we're at 90% right here. So I've already got 90% of my pieces in this cart right now, or in this
2 carts.
queue, I should call it. Now I create my carts. That's gonna, make a cart. And so I've got 2 stores here where I have carts. So now we go to this shop here.
This is the fun part, I think.
This is the fun part. It takes me right to the terms. I can kind of see handling fee, 2 cents per lot, blah, blah, blah.
Oh yeah, that's something else. Actually, some people, when you're looking at terms, they will charge you like a certain amount of money per lot if you're ordering like, I don't know, like 35 single pieces from different lots. They will charge you for sometimes for that.
And see right here, shipping and handling is like $13. I pretty much abandoned ship at that point. It's like, what are no? So I would probably just start over and just dump.
So Holly, that's the buy lot I talked about, where if you started to add little lots, you guys are going to start to see the handling part is creeping
up. 1365. Let's take this out. Remove this part. 1356. Remove these. Yeah, 1347. Yeah, so just like Moto said, they're charging like a handling fee per part. So I'm probably not going to deal with these guys, but just kind of taking you through what that looks like. Now, let's just
at least
pretend.
At least your stuff will be slow. They're called the slow shipper. So there you go. At least they're upfront about it.
Exactly. But let's say that I went ahead. In fact, and as part of, I do want to build another one of these because I gave away the one that I had.
We're so grateful. Oh my gosh, it has a center place on our
back here.
Don't ever break that windscreen.
Yeah, exactly. If you know how it's worth something, but so I want to build another one. So actually, in the last order that I placed for all my Fabuland stuff, I actually did add some of these parts to that cart. So now this is what Moto was talking about. If I go into my want list and I pick, it's always going to have the one you created most recently up on top. So it's right here. You can see it says completion 0% here. I click on that and go to top right, apply order. It's going to show me some of my recent orders that have detected those parts as part of those orders.
Oh, really? Oh, I always wondered about that.
Wait, what was that?
That's so great.
So what you do is she'll show you just apply the quantities.
So right here, and it even tells you right here, it fulfills 44% of that want list. So if I select that, it'll show me all the bricks in here. There might be some bricks in here that I bought for something else that I wasn't buying for this particular list, so I can exclude those if I need to. Like say I actually bought this windscreen for something else, I can actually put 0 in there to make sure that I still get as many of those windscreens as I need or something, or sunroof hinges, whatever. So once I apply, or you can choose a different order. If you're like, nope, this isn't the right one, you can go back and pick something else instead. So apply to list. Blah, blah, blah. The only problem is it isn't smart about knowing that you've already applied it. So if I refresh this, it's going to now jump to 44% completion up in the top right there.
Got it.
But see, if I go to apply order, I can apply it like multiple times because it doesn't know that I've already applied it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you just have to be mindful and do it as soon as you get your stuff.
Sometimes I make notes too. So if you go to your orders, up at the top, my Bricklink orders, there is an option here. So right here, this one that I just applied, I can click on this button here. Oh, that wasn't the right one. Where's the one that's for notes?
No, that's the messages. There you go.
Note. Yeah, my note on order. So I click on that one, and down here I can say applied to Mitch's fan.
Oh, very good.
Submit changes, and then that will come up. I can look at that to see like, oh, actually I already applied that, or it's a really good way to keep track of like what you're applying to what.
Yeah, and as part of your wanted list, I'll just say another thing. You can make notes on the elements in your wanted lists. So when I was restoring Lego sets and doing mocks, I put the set number into the into the remarks and stuff, so I could start to see when the order came in. I'd always forget, wait, what was this part going with?
Oh
yeah, and then you can go in here and start sorting this. So you can sort by like, have quantity, and it'll sort it by like the parts that you don't have yet. So I can start figure out like, oh, well, why is this part so hard to find? And we kind of go down the Bricklink rabbit hole of like, oh, well, what else was it in? And oh, is there some alternative, like right here where it says similar to, and this is what I was talking about, those like panels and stuff that have so many variations, and say, oh, okay, well, let's see if this one's any cheaper, something along those lines. That's kind of where I go from there.
Does Bricklink automatically always save all your work? So you're not going to go through all the work of creating a cart and then lose your work.
Kind of. I mean, if I log out or navigate away from it, come back a couple of days later, yeah, I still have old carts in here from I don't even know when.
Yeah, it's not like ordering from Bricks and Pieces where if you
Right.
accidentally go to another screen, it wipes
No.
everything
Or hit the
out.
back button.
No,
God forbid
once-
you hit the back
yeah,
button.
The cart is persistent. If you type in quantities and you don't hit save, then those are not going to be retained.
Right.
Got it.
Right.
But the majority of your work, it's good. So we
Yeah,
go down
the
that
easy
route.
buy is
Yeah.
a little more dynamic, but
Yeah, carts are
see,
persistent.
See, it even says this part is not available for sale. So Studio should be telling me that. Like if I've got a part in Studio, there should be
Exclamation point, right?
Yeah, there should be an exclamation point in there somewhere. I'm trying to see if it even says in the model info if there's a part. I don't know if it'll have if it's in the model info or not. I notice when I'm designing sometimes. See, here's all the parts like in a step view here. Sometimes there'll be a part that comes up over here with an exclamation point if it's not available in a certain color.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Maybe it was made at one time. It's just not for sale. That's why it's not flagging it.
Well, I mean, the problem with Studio is that you can make any part any color.
Right.
It doesn't have to be
Yes, you
available.
can.
You know, it's kind of check issues. Here we go. Check issues. No, I don't know. I think Bricklink is lying to me. But anyway, that's kind of the
I had one
quick and
little
dirty rundown.
If we had time, I have one last hack that I missed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully
Thanks,
that was
Holly.
useful. Yeah, no problem.
That was super useful. It's not so scary when you start digging in. I mean, the main thing is, it seems like the main thing is you're creating your wanted list, and then you want to probably fulfill that wanted list from the fewest number of sellers for the lowest cost of shipping.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's hard. I can't say it's an easy process. It's like sometimes just trying to make it affordable. It can be tricky, which is actually another reason why I like doing digital design. 'Cause you can just design whatever, render it, and not be bothered. But yeah, when it comes to the practical build, it can be pretty time consuming.
Yeah.
Okay. So I didn't show sets. I'm not going to, but I do want to show you. If you are trying to play the game of what set is in my bulk lot that I bought, under market,
Yeah.
in market, there is this little hidden thing called a Pearson. Okay. And I could do 3001. I had that in black. Find multiple items in inventory. So now I can search up to 3 separate items and see if those 3 unique items appeared in a set.
Oh,
Okay.
that's cool.
So
I've
if
never
you
seen
think,
that.
yeah, if you've gotten this bulk buy and you've noticed that there's like maybe there's chunks of stuff, but you don't know where this chunk went.
Yeah.
If you pick out the most unique components of that chunk, you can put in 3 of those unique elements.
Wow.
And then it'll start to show you every set that it showed up in. Now, you know, I'm doing a really common 2x4 brick, so of course it's not going to do much here. But
That's
just to
a
let you-
great trick. I had no
Mhm.
idea.
you can even do minifigs, gear. I mean, some of the stuff doesn't make sense, but usually when I was trying to restore sets and I didn't know kind of
Well,
what that
minifigs.
chunk came from, I could start to jam in different stuff.
I have a little tip that I like to
Sure.
use, and it works for me sometimes.
So
and this
I'm
is
going to stop sharing. That was just my last little hack. Is appears
No,
in
that's a great
Isn't
way.
that
That's a great way.
Entering minifigs in there would be a great one if you have 2 minifigs and you want to know what set they appeared in together.
So
yeah.
with the minifigs too, like sometimes if you buy bulk Lego used, you will find a lot of times just like pieces of minifigs, like a torso or legs, or maybe you'll find like 25 full minifigs, but they've all clearly been switched all around and like it's impossible. So what I do, and I found has worked really nicely for me, is I'll say go into Bricklink and then type in let's say it's this. Let me get a good one that will make sense.
Yeah, this item appears in is a great tool as well.
Oh, right.
Well, like her
okay.
helmet, right?
So like her torso. Like maybe I just found the top of her torso, and I would just type in torso, yellow, white, gold. Just like keep it. I know like sometimes you want to like overcompensate with like exactly what you're looking for, but if you keep it really generic, you can usually cut it down to only having to scroll through maybe 20 or 40 things. And it's pretty easy, especially when you're looking for minifig torsos, just to scroll down until that one catches your eye. You're like, oh, right, that's the one. That's the one that I was looking for.
Once again, it's transition to thumbnail view, and you're going to get that really compact visual.
Yes, and now I'm going to be using that all the time.
Yeah.
So awesome. Well, this is so great. Thank you both, Holly and Moto, so much for
Thank you, Holly.
coming on and showing us how to go through that. And I know a lot of people have some experience with Bricklink, but hopefully if you did or you didn't, you learned something new today. I know I learned several new things and ways of doing things, so that's awesome. What was that, Moto?
I was like, I still feel like you can only scratch the surface. I mean, you can sit here.
Scratching the surface.
Yeah, I mean, stuff can get pretty
absolutely.
deep.
It would, but I think for anybody who's never used it before, to try to drill down further would be confusing. And that, I mean, that's the I think that's the hardest part about Bricklink, is because there are so many elements available, like just different kinds. It's real easy to get lost.
Well, even one of the big things that I got from both of what you've said is that the interface, which can look like a big jumble of words and numbers when you look at it, is actually broken apart into discrete chunks that are less scary.
It's actually
and it seems like almost
it's very well organized, but like Moto was saying, it's just the UI of like it's just a visual thing. It's like being able to differentiate things is hard, and
it's on
kind
par
of
with
knowing where you are and navigation. That's the stuff that hasn't quite developed along with the rest of it.
I'd say it's equivalent to Craigslist. It's very web 1.0 kind of basic.
Oh, and also we should note that up until about a year ago, it was independently owned, right?
Yeah.
And now Lego purchased them about a year ago now, I want to say, or maybe a little bit less. So, yeah, there's that element to it. But I find that at least so far, I haven't seen, and of course I don't use it all the time, but
I noticed changes. I did.
Yeah.
But we can talk about what that was later.
Yeah, we can talk about that another time. But anyway, I hope that you now know how to use Bricklink, and we will not be held responsible for the state of your bank account after this show. So
I'm looking for where I can roll off screen and be like,
I know.
Oh, I know.
So two things real quick before we go.
We meet again, Mr. Bond.
I think that needs to be Thunderman's new arch nemesis.
Oh yeah. Bricklink buyer.
But anyway, so a couple things before we go. I just wanted to say that don't forget that we are having a challenge this week. It's the TrickyBricks potluck challenge. And everybody is challenged to make a food-related mock. What we're preferably looking for is that you create an item of food out of Lego, whatever that is, and you're bringing it to the table. All right, so whatever that means to you, a pie, a cake. I heard baked beans. I've heard
covered dish.
Barbecue, covered dish, like whatever. It's whatever you want to do. Just don't forget to put your name in. On a piece of masking tape and Sharpie on the bottom of the pan, so that someone doesn't accidentally take home your favorite pie pan, which is, if you've ever been to a potluck with like a large community group of people, you'll understand what I mean.
I lose something every time.
I'm just gonna tumble a bunch of like one by one round clears into a pick-a-brick cup and call it a glass of water because I'm running out of time.
You don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that guy that brings water to the potluck.
Yes. And yes, minifigs are allowed pretty much unless we say they're not. Minifigs are always allowed because we know everybody has their stories that they like to keep moving forward. So.
In the spirit of food.
Yeah, in the spirit of food. I can't see one where we wouldn't use a minifigure, although that might be a really great challenge. You have to make something without a minifigure, just, to be challenging. Anyway, so there's the food one. There will be a link on the website soon with the rules and how to get there with the Google form, how you can upload. You can also email challengephotos@gmail.com. So let's see.
We also have, there's a longer challenge that we've referred to several times today, which is the Fab Max Furry Road Challenge.
Yeah, that
and I'll tell you, ours is going to move.
Yes,
at least a little.
Well, you'll be seeing more of it. You'll be seeing more of it tomorrow. But yeah, there's the Fab Max Furry Road, and we can go over more of that tomorrow. You can also go to TrickyBricks.com, and there is a whole article all about it with reference photos and links and all that kind of stuff. So I encourage you to go check that out.
Moto, I am intrigued by this new arch villain.
Okay, let's not go too far down that rabbit hole right now.
No, we won't.
But
I will say this: my build for the Fab Max does have a mechanical component to it.
Oh, so does ours. Awesome. Perfect. And again, like when we talk about this, everybody's like, well, but if it's Fabuland, like how do you make it look like? Think about it as like decorating your house for Halloween or the holidays. Like you're taking the Fabuland house and you're decorating it for the apocalypse.
We should all be familiar with that by now.
Yeah,
right?
if that makes sense. And I can actually show you some little things that we've come up with when we were working on ours. So hopefully they'll be able to help you how to sort of apocalypsize your Fabuland.
I apologize. My stuff's right here, and I keep glancing down on it. And just
I know. I
thinking,
keep looking over at ours because we keep talking about it.
It's gonna be so good.
So golly, what else was there? Oh yes, don't forget we are having a subscription drive. If you're new here today and you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. We are giving away a Monkey King Warrior mech when we hit 2,000 subscribers. Yeah. It's been a slow climb, but I know we're gonna get there. We are going to get there, and it's gonna be awesome.
And thank you for everyone who subscribes and watches us on Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and also part of what we'll be showing tomorrow is I got a small Bricks and Pieces haul. My Bricks and Pieces finally arrived.
Mine too.
I'll definitely be showing the and here's just a little preview.
No way.
Coral sloth, coral monkey, and coral baby tiger cub.
Yeah, I think that was the order I placed at the same time you were shopping at the same time.
I will tell you something. What I really like about the mock building from the last time is when you discover like this interesting technique or assembly, when you focus on that and you kind of do a little mini tutorial right on the spot, that was really cool.
Oh, did we do that?
Oh, cool.
I don't even.
I know I stepped away for a while and had a phone meeting, and I came back, and there was a swamp.
Yeah, there's such a. It's funny, like that was such a new weird thing, like building on live on camera like that. Obviously, Lego Masters, but it's a very different thing. At Lego Masters, at least they were filming everybody all at the same time, and it was their decision what to show.
Well,
I think we I made the joke that it's like, oh yeah, it's like Lego Masters, except they actually show people building.
Yeah,
exactly. It's true. But no, that was happening. I was doing a video build, Saturday, and I came up with this like new way to grip something in and make it work.
Yeah.
And on the spot, I turned around and went, "Hey, check this out."
That's great.
Awesome.
That's great.
But yeah, that kind of, I expect that as you guys get into this model, now you've done kind of the planning and the visualization, that you're going to have these times where you're like, oh, look what I just did. And it's going to be this like cool little mini tutorial type thing.
Yeah, I definitely have one of those ready for tomorrow. But we've got much more than we had the other day, so we're gonna have to figure out our camera and stuff again because that was crazy.
Okay.
Well, one thing I really like too about what you're saying, Moto, and what we've done with demonstrations is I've learned so much from our lug meetings. We belong to Bay Lug. Here in the Bay Area, and there's a few people who are really experienced with trains or geometry or ball runs, any of that stuff. And so I'll bring a work in progress, and I'm having issues with this thing, and we'll share those things in real time in the moment. And even though we're not all in the same room with one another, I feel like that gets that AFOL, some of that aspect of sharing real time.
Awesome. Well, thank you both for joining today, and thanks for hanging out and showing us all how to buy more Lego, because that's what we all need, right?
That's what we need.
And I wanted to thank everybody who's here so much for joining us today. We will be back tomorrow with Mock Mondays, where we're going to be working on Fab Max Furry Road build for down the road, so please join us then. And don't forget, until then, please make sure that you stay safe, stay healthy, wash your hands, wear your mask, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone. See you tomorrow.
Happy building.
Hey guys.
Happy building.